You voted for Trump because you thought he was going to bring grocery prices down. I have some very bad news for you.
Donald Trump wants to hit Canada and China and Mexico in their wallets, which means tariffs. The president-elect on Truth Social, of course, promising to penalize both neighbors to the north and to the south with a 25% tariff on all products entering the U.S.
A lot of our produce comes from Mexico. 2/3 of the tomatoes that Americans purchase are from Mexico. 90% of the avocados that they purchase are from Mexico, just to mention two examples. So that guac is definitely going to cost extra. If you voted for Trump because you thought he was going to bring down the cost of housing, a lot of our lumber, cement, other materials comes from Canada, which means that construction costs are going to go up. Not to mention all of the ways he's going to roil the U.S. auto industry, because a lot of autos cross borders in North America multiple times before they're ultimately finished and sold to consumers. Not to mention the fact that a lot of U.S. manufacturers purchase inputs, intermediate goods like metals and cement and other things from Canada, from Mexico, and not to mention even the retaliation that we should expect. All of which is going to be very bad for consumers, not to mention, again, many of the U.S. workers that Trump allegedly wants to have.
On me, I'm stuck in California for the weekend, right? Because Friday I had a load lined up, ready to go. Easy 1-2 pickups in the same area, head back to Florida. And at the last minute, they canceled it because they didn't have enough product. Now, what I'm picking up and what I usually pick up from California is produce, vegetables, and fruits. Some of these loads I get like 22, 24 pallets, and they may cut like 1 or 2 pallets sometimes. But this time, I was only picking up 13 pallets in total, and they cut the whole thing. What on earth could be happening that they didn't have enough product to cover 13 pallets of lemons and carrots? And then it hit me like a bag of vanilla ice. We are all gonna get a sample of what it feels like to be under pressure. There isn't enough product, not enough carrots, oranges, lemons, strawberries, grapes, none of that. There's not enough of the product because ain't nobody there to pick the product. Because they're in fear. Probably not even in fear of being actually deported. There probably is fear. But more so annoyance, because I'd be annoyed as fuck. If somebody came to my job and be like, show me your papers. Fuck you mean show me your papers? I feed you, bitch. Just because it's not happening to you, don't mean it won't affect you.
So there you have it, man. It is a sad situation, man. And I'm gonna keep it, unbiased as I can, right? We have this field workers, right, who are scared to showing up to work. Why? Because, come on, man, they're not committing a crime. They're working, right? And at the same time as they work, they receive a check. That in that check, they take the money for the Social Security number, which they cannot claim, the state taxes, the federal taxes, whatever it is. They take it away, and it goes to whatever bank needs to go, right? And that money stays right there. Nobody can claim it. Nobody can claim it because once they want to claim it, of course, they're going to ask for a legit resident card or any kind of ID that is legit, that is going to go through a background check, right? So that's why I can't claim it. But the state and the federal agencies, whoever's in charge of that, takes their portion. So I don't see them committing a crime, right? Now, because of this, they're not showing up to work. Now, the produce is right down the fields. What this is going to create, basically, it's on the fields. It's going to affect the rancher. It's going to lose money, right? That thing, trust me, these people are going through it right now, stressing. Their stuff is gonna rot. I'm pretty sure they got insurance, right? They got insurance. So somebody is gonna get affected though. Now, second, and I don't know how that insurance works. Second, it's affecting the rancher. And second, it's gonna affect the pockets of the consumers. Why? Because the produce is gonna be on the field. What is gonna be on the store? Not that many produce, because you don't got that many workers, because most of them, they don't got papers, right? So this is gonna hype the prices, right? It's gonna go up the prices. Let's just mention this, man. Come on, tell me who hasn't been to that situation where they go to the store and they see 12 eggs for what? $12? $20? That's crazy. That is crazy. That's too expensive. Now imagine what's going to happen. We're going to see videos of ranchers, right? I mean, getting rid of stuff because they cannot sell to the stores. There's not enough hands to help them with the harvest of this produce. Affecting the pockets of the consumers. Too expensive because there's only a few produce in the store, and maybe, just maybe, people might not even buy it. So now that produce is going to be not consumed at all. People are going to be affected. Doesn't matter. Different people are going to be affected. And hopefully it does. They come with a solution. Hopefully those guys who actually voted for Trump, man, step in and go work on those jobs. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who are unemployed. There's people out there on the streets who are asking for money, right? Maybe those guys who are asking for money can get a job right there. Maybe any of our African American people can go over there and get a job right there. Maybe many of our Caucasian people can go get a job right there, right? Because you still got Mexicans that do have papers and are working on those fields, but not a lot, though. It's not going to be a lot. So maybe, hopefully somebody steps up, right? Because it's all bad. Also, by him increasing whatever they have to pay to cross produce from Mexico to the States and from Canada to the States, because he's going to do a 25 increase or something like that. That means that all that stuff is going to go up in price. So if you thought that your house is going to be cheaper, well, guess what? All these things is going to go up in price. Lumber, cement, produce from Mexico. Why? Because California cannot produce that many produce. So it's going to be coming from Mexico. And guess what? Way more expensive because they want to charge 25% more for the crossing. So now we might wonder, okay, well, hold on. What's going on right here? Is it going to work? Are people going to be willing to, I guess I want to say, trust the process? I mean, and not only be patient with the process, because the process is going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. And again, I think this was the wrong way to go about it. What he should have done, it was like whoever was a worker, right, should have do them like somehow, some way. You know what? You're not gonna be deported, but we're gonna go through a process, right? Every single one, do a process. Let them go through a process and see if they qualify. They can stay with the permit, or if they don't, you can deport them. I think that would have been a best option. Of course, I can just say with this at the end of the day, I don't know how those things work over there. And hopefully, people can afford the upcoming high prices of everything. So now you guys know. So with this being said, we are out to next video.